Tkachuk and scores!
Nice Shabbat curled and drives and scores!
And the Senators win it.
5 apart, another chance, Madison scores! Drake Madison, oh, and got it. Green again, scores!
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon, and I'm your host. Now, before we get started, please follow us on Twitter at @SensTalk_ and on Instagram at Sens Talk. Now, tonight the Sens took on the Vancouver Canucks, but before we get into the recap, a few things. Firstly, in the link in the description below, you can order your Sens Talk shotgun tool today. We've sold out 3 times, so we made a 4th bunch for you guys. So if you want to buy a cool piece of Sens Talk merchandise, do so now by clicking the link in the description below. As well, go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code SensTalk. You'll save $20 off your first purchase. Now, the Sens took on the Vancouver Canucks tonight, and for Ottawa, it was Joey Daccord, and for Vancouver, it was Thatcher Demko. Now, before the game, I was watching the Sens pregame show on That's Hockey on TSN with Gina Red on the crew, and, you know, I don't watch every single one, but I was lucky enough to put this one on, because I turned it on, and 3 minutes later, DJ Smith is, he's a player's coach, okay, and I can see why. He's this, you know what, I'm just going to play the video. This was potentially one of the most electric moments in Sanders head coaching history. Let's get to that right now. Check this out.
Join this trend.
You know what, I love it. I love the passion of the fans, and I gotta say to them, yes, ha ha ha, yes.
That was by far the most electric moment a Sens coach has ever had. Maybe, I guess the closest one could be Brian Murray beefing the Sabres head coach in their bench. I guess the other one could be Paul McLean and the Canadians and their beef and fighting. But that was a true sicko moment by you, DJ Smith. The respect levels for you just rose through the roof. I love it. Keep up that sicko energy, DJ Smith. Now, the game number 32 lineup is as follows. The first line, Brady Tkachuk with Josh Norris, Connor Brown. Second, Nick Paul, Colin White, Evgeny Dadonov. Third, Tim Stützle with Chris Turney, Drake Batherson. Fourth, Ryan Dzingel, Clark Bishop, who DJ Smith praised before the game, and Austin Watson. Shabbat and Zaitsev, Riley and Zub, Wallena and Goodbranson round out the defensive corps, with Daccord starting and Gustafsson backing up, who was just recalled from the taxi squad. To the first period we go. A few minutes in, the Sanders are starting off well, and 5 minutes in, they get a goal, but the whistle is blown, and of course, the Sanders get screwed with an early blown whistle. When have we ever seen that before? But anyways, Sanders, their goal does not count. 0-0. 6 minutes later, guess what? Karma. Jayce Hawrlyuk scores on the rebound, 1-0 Vancouver. I never liked this fact the Sens got rid of Hawrlyuk. I always thought he had something to give as a depth player for this team. Anyways, he clearly feels the same way, and just put it back in the back of the net in front of Pierre Dorion and the Senators management. So 1-0 Vancouver, 11 minutes in, and after that, the game was going back and forth. Thatcher Demko made some big stops, but the post was also a play into this. But we'll talk about that in a second, because with 19 minutes into the first period, you're figuring, you know what, there's a minute left in the game. I mean, in the first period. There's a minute left in the first period. So you're assuming, you know what, probably done, just be careful, no stupid mistakes. We're going to get out of the period only down by 1. But then Colin White turns it over right down the middle to Pearson, who wires a one-timer glove side on Daccord to make it 2-0. And the TSN guys, actually, Mike Johnson and Gord Miller, actually discussed this. I think they're right. I think Pearson, the Vancouver Canucks goal scorer, called for the puck, because on the video that they showed on TSN during the broadcast, it showed that somebody called Whitey, and why would a Sens player call for Whitey on a goal like that? So I think Pearson called it. 1,000 IQ play, and the Vancouver Canucks, after one period, are up 2-0. So my first period thoughts, well, the Sens hit 2 posts, and they got 1 goal, but after 20 minutes of play, are down by 2. The score is 2-0. They got 1 goal, hit the post twice. They're getting no luck, because that goal did not count because of the blown whistle. They're getting no luck because it hit the post twice. So the Vancouver Canucks are getting a little lucky, but they're also getting rewarded, and they're capitalizing on their chances. So in the second period of play, we need to see the Sanders, not throw it up in the middle of the ice to give a one-timer to them, and cover the front of the net too, because that Hawrlyuk goal, if you just had a net front presence, would never have happened. But let's get to the second period of play right now. Welcome back. After 40 minutes of play, the Ottawa Senators and Vancouver Canucks are in a much tighter game than they were after 20 minutes of play, as the Senators cut the lead to 1 going into the third period of play. 4 minutes into the second period, Josh Norris threw the puck on net, went off of Vancouver Canucks skate and in. Senators cut the lead to 1. It's a 2-1 game. And after 40 minutes, the Sens are down by 1. It's a 2-1 game. And in that second period, the Brady Tkachuk, Josh Norris, and Tim Stützle line, they weren't all together on the ice at the same time every single shift, but when they were, they created magic. A couple of times they were robbed by Demko off beautiful passing plays. And of course, Norris got that goal. So that line looked fantastic. More of that line, please. Now, the Senators hit another post or two in that period, make that 3 or 4 tonight, so that's incredible. And overall, the Sens have been buzzing in the second period of play. They're coming off a back-to-back. Last night, they took down the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3. Vancouver didn't play yesterday. It's been a 2-day break for them. So the Senators are out shooting the Vancouver Canucks 30-16 after 40 minutes of play. So Sens are playing really, really well. And if you're a Vancouver fan, you're probably wondering what the hell is going on, because the Sens are not the one with the rest, and yet they're playing better. Now, let's get to a few of your questions before we get to the third period of play. So the first question comes in from Sens Talk OG fan, big-time fan, Villeneuve Philippe. They ask, Daccord or Hogberg to back up Murray? I would assume moving forward, Joey Daccord 100%. Listen, Marcus Hogberg, last season, I was a huge advocate for him, to be honest, going into this season. I thought he had a lot of NHL potential. I thought he even could have been the goalie of the future for this team. But that is clearly Joey Daccord. Joey Daccord is clearly the future of this team in the net, and he should definitely get the backup position. He's earned it, unlike Marcus Hogberg. Now, the next question comes in from Jamie. They ask, why is Erik Brannstrom not playing again? Your question is as good as mine. The only logical reason is Erik Brannstrom's never going to be taken out of this lineup unless he's injured, God forbid. So, listen, DJ Smith clearly loves Erik Brannstrom, and that spot for Brannstrom to be playing would mean Wolanin and Brannstrom are sharing one spot, clearly. So, I guess your answer, frankly, is Wolanin and Brannstrom are battling for one spot, and there's 2 of them. So, one of them's going to be scratched. Now, the final question comes in from Joe D'Antoni. They ask, is it too soon for the Sens to look for a Zub extension? And what does that look like for a Zub extension? Well, firstly, Artyom Zub, or Zub, whatever the hell you want to call him. I love this guy regardless. But Zub, by the way, had a breakaway in that second period. Should have been a penalty shot, but he made a nice move. Didn't score, unfortunately. But anyways, Zub is an RFA, which means he will be back on the team at the very least next year on a 1-year deal. If I was the Senators general manager, I would give him a 2 or 3 year deal, probably 2 years, give him an extra year, see him next year if this continues, and then extend him if it continues his good play. If it doesn't, worst case scenario, you have a contract for an extra year, you can trade him, whatever. The bridge deal is the safest bet. I think Zub is going to have a very long and great career, but we're only 20 games into his NHL career, so you can't really give him a long-term extension. A bridge deal would make the most sense for, honestly, both sides. But besides that, let's get to the third period of play, where Ottawa's down by 1 and looking to tie it. Let's get to that right now. Welcome back. After a crazy third period, let's recap it. So, to enter the third period, the Senators are dominating the Vancouver Canucks. They're outshooting them by 14, 30-16. Going into the third period, and they continued to press in that third period. Vancouver, they capitalized on their chances, and that's why they're leading going into the third period. And more importantly, Thatcher Demko has been unreal, and then when he wasn't making the big stops, the posts were getting in the way of the Senators scoring a goal. But we go into the third period, and this is a period where Vancouver actually played pretty well. If not, this was their best period of the game, but it doesn't matter, because 2 minutes left in the game, the Senators empty their net. Joey Daccord goes to the net, 6-on-4. Brady Tkachuk forces Hamnick, the Vancouver Canucks defenseman, to the ice. He steals the puck, gives Colin White a beautiful feed, and he snipes it to tie the game at 2 apiece. Colin White, redemption, after giving up that second goal for Vancouver, gets the second goal for Ottawa. Going to overtime now, Colin White with an incredible shot in the last couple minutes ties his one to go to overtime in a game where Ottawa deserved to win, but unfortunately, 2 minutes into the overtime period, Brady Tkachuk, Drake Batherson, and Thomas Chabot were on the ice out there for like a minute and a half. They were gassed, so Thomas Chabot, as the Vancouver Canucks got the puck in their own blue line, went for a line change, which of course, I would assume the Sens forwards and Brady Tkachuk and Drake Batherson did not see, so they pinched up a bit more, leaving the offensive zone for the Senators wide open, which found JT Miller with a lane. He found a lane, punctured right through that lane. No one in the back end because Chabot was on a bad line change. The forwards were oblivious to Chabot going off for the line change. He went in on Daccord on a breakaway and roofed it as Vancouver Canucks win it 3-2 in overtime. And a game that frankly was pretty good. The Senators played a very good game. Definitely deserved a better fate. But hockey, weird things happen. And while Ottawa won last night, they lost tonight. They got 3 out of 4 points, and you really cannot complain. Now, what's most important for me, in my opinion, about this is the fact the Sanders played so well on a back-to-back. That's really, really encouraging. So moving forward, yes, we don't know what's happening with Matt Murray. The Sanders lost his game, but they showed resilience, they showed fight, they showed spirit. That's all you can ask for. Now, let's get to the Sens Star of the Night, voted by you, the fans. I tweeted it out. How long ago? All right, I tweeted it out 5 minutes ago. This is a quicker video than I thought, but we already got 93 votes. So let's get to that. 4th star with 4% of the vote, Colin White with the game-tying goal. 3rd star with 10% of the vote, Artyom Zub, who was fantastic defensively tonight, even almost scored a breakaway goal. 2nd star tonight, it was Brady Tkachuk with 18% of the vote, got an assist on the tying goal. On the 1st star, 68% of the vote, and is your Sens Star of the Night, single-handedly stealing this game for the Sanders to force it to overtime, Joey Daccord. He was fantastic throughout the game, made some big 10-bell stops on Horvat and numerous other Vancouver Canuck players, and this kid continues to get better and continues to impress every single night. But besides that, the Sanders lose 3-2 to the Vancouver Canucks. Their next game is Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time versus these Vancouver Canucks. So see you all then. Besides that, make sure to comment below and let me know what you think. I look forward to reading your comments and responding to them as usual. But besides that, thank you for watching. Be sure to like us and share this video, and most importantly, click the big red button down there and subscribe to us. And most importantly of all, turn the notification bell on so you get notified whenever we upload a new video. Besides that, the Senators, they lose 3-2 to the Vancouver Canucks. I'll see you next time. Go Sens, go.